reps also met over face-off with government tomorrow. 84% of Nigerians can't afford healthy diet, stakeholders. Fuel subsidy must go to avert public debt crisis, budget office. Obi failed to curb insecurity as Anambra Governor Oshiomhole.
ASU strike, security on the alert as students insist on protest at airports. NDLEA arrests ex-convict with cocaine hidden in lip gloss, deodorants. Masqueraders disrupt church service, flog pastor worshippers in Plateau.
Banking stocks drag equities negative close. Will guide members in making choices in 2023, Catholic bishops. 19 bonds in FCT auto crash. Oyo Kingmakers lose member Alakpene, make you turn on new Alaafin, present all 65 contestants for selection.
While in sports, Arsenal's Nwaneri makes EPL history, debuts at 15, youngest ever. Sports, Minister seeks review of PHE curriculum.
This and many more after this break.
To inform the general public, especially those who intend to apply for the Higher National Diploma Program (HND) of the Osun State Polytechnic Ire for the 2022-2023 academic session, that the form is now available for sale at the sum of 15,000 naira only. Applicants are to log into ospoly.edu.ng. Courses are available in the faculties of Engineering, Information and Communication Technology, Science, Financial Studies, and Management Studies. Interested applicants are expected to possess credit passes in English language, mathematics, and any other 3 subjects in the areas of studies. There would be a qualifying exam for the applicants by end of August. Applicants are to use the ATM card of any bank. For more information, log on to www.oxpoly.edu.ng or call 08034007555, 09055063355, and 07059606371. And answer BM Salawu, Esquire, Registrar.
Academy, always a leader. Thinking of where to get qualitative education for your child? Think of Global Leaders Academy. Our creche, nursery, primary, and secondary schools are established in tandem with global standards with qualified and experienced teachers. At Global Leaders Academy, we have state-of-the-art facilities such as comfortable hostel accommodation with maximum security, well-equipped science laboratory, school buses, adequately furnished library, and many more. Oh yes, worship centers are available to accommodate each student's preferred religion. We also take our students for excursion on a regular basis. These and many more reasons are why Global Leaders Academy has been a choice school for parents who desire qualitative education for their children. Visit us today at Global Leaders Academy, located at Plot 1AMB, Oroki Estate, Lameko Junction, Oshogbo, or call 0815-928-0037. At Global Leaders Academy, we are not led, we lead, and always a leader.
And welcome to another edition of Headlines Today, 19th of September 2022. My name is Ulushola Egbodofo, and with me in the houses
Olubumi Ajiboye Agbola.
Hope brightened yesterday for an out-of-court resolution of the dispute between striking university teachers and their federal government employers. The House of Representatives and the Academic Staff Union of Universities have scheduled a meeting for tomorrow to dialogue on the 7-month-old strike. ASU is expected to submit a written presentation of its perspective on the matter to the House ahead of the meeting, which is at the instance of Speaker Femi Gbajabiamila. The House will resume tomorrow at its annual recess. Gbajabiamila, in an invitation letter to ASU President Emmanuel Oshodeke, said the House was worried by the failed negotiations between the federal government and the union. The federal government had dragged the union before the National Industrial Court last week, but despite the litigation, the government and ASU said they would not foreclose dialogue aimed at resolving the industrial crisis.
Meanwhile, the National Association of Nigerian Students, NANS, has thwarted a suit instituted against the Academic Staff Union of Universities at the Industrial Arbitration Court. The federal government had in a suit prayed the court to compel the striking members of ASU at various universities to suspend the strike. The case has been adjourned for ruling till today, Monday, 19th September 2022. Meanwhile, NANS, in a statement by its national president Umar Farouk, has distanced itself from the position of the federal government, declaring that the suit lacks merit. NANS added that the demands of ASU were reasonable, ideological, and progressive in the interest of the masses, adding that the demands called for the support of every progressive individual and organization.
24 Nigerians have filed a lawsuit against the Independent National Electoral Commission for failing to give them and other 7 million other Nigerians adequate time and opportunity to complete their voter registration after they have carried out their registration online. The plaintiffs who are suing for themselves and on behalf of 7 million other Nigerians want INEC to allow them complete the registration process so that they can obtain their permanent voter cards and exercise their right to vote. INEC recently disclosed that out of 10 million Nigerians who carried out their pre-registration online, only 3 million completed the process at a physical center. This represents just 32.8% of completed online registration. However, in the suit filed on Friday at the Federal High Court Abuja, the plaintiffs are seeking an order of mandamus to direct and compel INEC to reactivate its continuous voters registration exercise to allow the plaintiffs complete their registration and collect their permanent voters cards. And this will be our talking point this morning. 7 million Nigerians sue INEC over failure to allow them complete voter registration, and the number to dial is 0818-777-5777.
The Catholic Bishops' Conference of Nigeria says it has a duty to guide members of its congregation and citizens in the course of making their choices of leaders during the 2023 general election. The bishops remarked that Nigerians are yearning for credible and reliable leadership at all levels to redirect the nation to the path of greatness. It noted that as religious leaders, they would continue to enlighten the people on the implications of their choices during the next year's poll. The CBCN said this in a communique issued at the end of its second plenary meeting of the Sacred Heart Pastoral and Retreat Center, Olu, Imo State, at the weekend, signed by the President, Most Reverend Lucius Iwejuru Ugoji, and Secretary, Most Reverend Donatus Aimoso Ogun.
Governor Yaya Bello of Kogi State has been appointed as the National Youth Coordinator of the Tinubu Shetima Presidential Campaign Council. The appointment was convened in a letter addressed to Bello, signed by the presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress. Tinubu, in a letter dated August 8, stressed that Bello, who was an aspirant in the party's presidential primaries held in June 2022, deserved the appointment owing to his impressive protocol achievements and the exemplary leadership he had demonstrated as governor as a party member.
London-based economist has frowned at the inability of Nigeria to make billions of dollars from the sales of crude oil, yet the cost of petroleum products remains one of the cheapest around the world, despite rising global crude oil price. In its September 11 publication How Oil-Rich Nigeria Failed to Profit from an Oil Boom, the news medium, it lamented that the artificially low cost of the product has led Nigerians to burn more of it and created a huge consumption base that the government struggles to satisfy from its lean purse. Only recently, the Nigerian National Petroleum Company, NNPC Limited, announced that the country reported zero earnings from crude oil export in July 2022. This was at the time when crude oil prices were high at around $100 per barrel. It compared Nigeria with other countries where dollars earned from petrol has brought a lot of development. The paper stated that a surge in oil prices can do astonishing things. In Saudi Arabia, a futuristic city is planned to rise from the desert, replaced with an artificial moon made of drones. Angola's long-beleaguered currency has suddenly become one of the strongest performers.
Director General of the Budget Office of the Federation, Mr. Ben Akabwese, said there was a need for the country to take urgent and decisive measures to avert public debt crisis. He pointed out that among the removal of subsidy on premium to spirit, Akabwese spoke on the topic, the National Debt Body, causes, effects, and realistic economic solutions at the annual conference awards of the Institute of Chartered Secretaries and Administrations or Administrators of Nigeria. Akabwese, who was represented virtually by his technical advisor Olumide Ayodele, said the government believed that the investment was required to bridge the infrastructure gap and provide public sector services to the people.
The International Monetary Fund has said that social cash transfers that are targeted and far-reaching help people buy food and rebuild it after weather shocks. It further said this allows families and small businesses to invest in resilience building equipment and technology. In a blog post on its website, the multilateral institution said that by offering people control of the support they receive, these cash transfers are more effective to contain inequality than agricultural subsidies.
And on the foreign scene, several world leaders have arrived at the United Kingdom in preparation for Queen Elizabeth II funeral today, which will be one of the biggest gatherings of royalty and politicians in the UK for decades. The Queen's coffin is now lying in state in Westminster Hall, having been escorted from Buckingham Palace by King Charles III, Prince William and Harry, and other senior royals will be buried at St. George's Chapel within the grounds of Windsor Castle, one of our favorite homes. After her funeral at the Westminster Abbey today, the Queen's coffin will be transferred to Windsor Castle, which is about 20 miles outside of central London. The Queen will be buried there as part of a long history of burials at the site, including 10 former sovereigns.
King and Queen's funeral. The finality about death will hit home today as thousands file the streets from Westminster Abbey to St. George's Chapel in Windsor, final resting place to wave their last goodbye to the flag-draped oak coffin carrying the only monarch most Britons have ever known, Queen Elizabeth II, while millions around the world will stay glued to large screens and TV sets for the state funeral, capping 10 days of mourning. Guests yesterday arrived for reception of the century at Buckingham Palace as King Charles III and Queen Consort Camilla welcomed royals and world leaders, including United States President Joe Biden, Francis Emmanuel Macron, and Vice President Yemi Osinbajo to a private reception where they paid their respects ahead of the Queen's funeral. It was one of the largest gatherings of world leaders seen in recent years. Upon his arrival in London yesterday, according to Osinbajo's media aide Laola Conde, the Vice President paid respect at the Queen's lying in state at Westminster. He also signed the condolence register saying Nigeria joins government, people of UK, Commonwealth and rest of the world in expressing our sincere condolence to the royal family on the passing of a monarch for all seasons.
And now let's go back to our viewpoint for this morning. 7 million Nigerians sue INEC over failure to allow them complete voter registration, and the number to dial for your contribution is 0818 777. President Muhammadu Buhari will deliver. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, madam.
Good morning, sir. Yeah, you are on, sir. Hello?
Hello. We've lost the call.
Yeah. President Muhammadu Buhari will deliver the keynote address as the Nigerian government, in collaboration with the African Business Roundtable, organizes the second edition of Nigeria International Economic Partnership Forum, a global economic investment platform in New York.
Good
Hello,
morning.
good morning.
Good morning, Shola.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Bumi, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Brother, Dr. Kipelu on the line. I want to throw my weight behind those 4 million people who have sued INEC. And I don't want to get the court judgment, but I know INEC will fail. There are about 7 million not registered to vote. What work is INEC doing? They have their offices in all the local governments of the Federation. What are those people doing? It should be a continuous exercise. There should not be a time limit, because every year, every day, every week, people get to the voter page of the thing. So what are they doing? I throw my weight behind those people. They to sue them. And I know we surely fail. God bless this country. Good morning.
Thank you. Hello, good morning. Hello?
Available at Osun State College of Technology, SLK. This is to inform the general public, especially interested candidates who have applied for admission to higher national diploma, HND full-time, that the screening exercise will commence on Monday, 19 September 2022 in the college. All candidates are to report to their respective faculty admission committee for the oral interview and submission of their credentials. Each candidate is to pay the sum of 5,000 naira only, either through the purchase of scratch cards from any of the unlisted banks. Hospitec Microfinance Bank Limited, Main Campus, SLK. Hospitec Microfinance Bank Limited, Onikira Street, Elisha. Hospitec Microfinance Bank Limited, Session Road, number 48, Corner Ladija of the Street, Oshogo. Or directly through the college web-based transaction, www.hospitec.edu.ng with ATM cards. Those that have made transactions with ATM cards will need to change their payment printout to the college received as student account unit of Bursary Department upon the arrival of their screening. For further inquiries, candidates should contact helpdesk at hospitec.slk.edu.ng or call the admission officer on 08033886449. Announcer, Mr. S. Okokola, Registrar.
Arts and Science and D'Amico Montessori International School, Cali. Oh yes, at D'Amico College of Arts and Science and D'Amico Montessori International School, located at number 1 Old Ibadan Road, Ajebandele, Ile-Ife. We have a standard classrooms with unmatched staff and pupil ratio. We develop each student's intelligence through caring and all-round focused training, while making the learning style very inviting and innovative for holistic development. We run a global school with all-inclusive curriculum that prepare the students for global relevance. At D'Amico Schools, we have highly passionate and motivated 21st century educators, and there is also an opportunity of learning foreign languages. Home away from home body system. There is also Hope Model College and D'Amico Montessori Nursery and Primary Schools at Origo, Ife North. Enroll your child for both primary and secondary education. The admission form can be obtained at D'Amico Montessori International School, number 1 Old Ibadan Road, Ajebandele, Ile-Ife, or D'Amico Educational Institute, Kilometer 2, Eda Road, Ile-Ife. You can visit our website www.d'amicoschools.ng.com or call 0803 721 8120. D'Amico Schools. Admission is in progress.
This is to inform the general public, especially those who intend to purchase the post-UTME screening application form for the National Diploma Program (ND) of the Osun State Polytechnic IRE for the 2022-2023 academic session, that the form is now available for sale at a sum of 2,000 naira only. Applicants are to log into ospoly.edu.ng and purchase the form with ATM of any bank. Interested applicants are expected to possess credit passes in English language, mathematics, and any other 3 subjects relevant to the proposed course of study in not more than 2 sittings. There would be oral screening later. For more information, log on to www.ospoly.edu.ng or call 0803 4007 555 090 550 63355 and 070 5960 6371. Announcer
BM Salawu, Esquire Registrar.
People have been confirmed dead, killed, while 8 others were injured in a Sunday auto crash at Dangote Gwagwalada Road in the Federal Capital Territory. The acting Corps-Major of the Federal Road Safety Corps, Mr. Dauda Bill, confirmed the figures to newsmen when he visited the accident scene. Bill said the crash, in which occurred minutes into Sunday, involved 3 vehicles, 2 Toyota Hiace buses and an articulated vehicle.
Do we have a call?
No.
Okay. A man identified as Ikechukwu, who was killed by a lady suspected to be the lesbian partner of his wife, has been buried in Onitsha, Anambra State. The news of Ikechukwu's death broke in early August when he was stabbed by his wife's lesbian partner after he allegedly caught both of them in bed in his house. A source who spoke with reporters said that the man was buried in Onitsha at the weekend.
There was pandemonium in Shiko community in Langton South local government area of Plateau State on Sunday when masqueraders disrupted a church service and flogged the pastor and other worshippers. Newsmen learned that the incident occurred at about 10:45 a.m. when the service was already in section. It was gathered that some members of the church tried to resist the attackers, but they were overpowered, forcing them to scamper for safety. Hello, good morning. Hello?
Good morning.
Morning. Please be snappy, please.
This is Victor calling from Memphis.
You're welcome.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. You say, to serve Nigeria is not by force. And the main problem of this country is procrastination. If at all we are going to conduct election in 2023 and over 7 billion people have not received their permanent voter card, then it means elections are not held in 2023 and
Thank you very much for your contribution.
While
And
in
now to
sports, the Minister of Sport, Youth and Social Development, Sunday Darius, urged tertiary institutions to review and update the curriculum for the training of physical health educators towards harnessing the entrepreneurial opportunities in sport. The minister made the appeal during the 50th National Conference of National Association for Physical Health Education, Recreation, Sport and Dance in Zaria.
And with that sports story, we have come to the end of today's edition of Headlines. Join our colleagues tomorrow for another beautiful package. My name is Ulushola Egbodofo.
I'm Olubumi Ajiboye Agbola.
And the producer for this program is Mutunayo Ayigbayo. The production advisor is Abimbola Babatunde. Good morning.
Good morning.